Run here again from the old 1.17 New York spawn location. I have going through a couple of little small updates that I've added in here recently. This will be kind of the last one for the short term. I will come back to this all once I kind of have a little more time to work on this space. I think it's going to be an ongoing project. I'll keep kind of adding little things as I come up with them. So this time, first thing I want to just kind of showcase is the signs. I think this is a good thing to have, and I think I'm going to do in more future worlds of builds. We're having some sign indication. So we have the Shire over on the right hand side, which was everyone's kind of starting builds, and then we have the main spawn city, which was New York City. I just kind of cut it off at some point with the ends, so that way it didn't go on forever. But I'm going to turn around here. You can see I have some different plans coming up. I have a parking garage here, so at some point I'm going to add a bunch of cars into this, put more cars in the streets throughout the server. So I was just kind of going for a nice simple build, something that didn't draw your eye too much, but enough that I could throw some stuff into that and fill that space in. As well over here, I'm going to mute my phone. I've been working on trying to continue with themes. Some of these builds you can see I copy paste. This was Alita's build that I put over here that I'm going to at some point later on kind of update it. I'm going to keep his original over there, their original over there, and I'm going to update this one to be one of the farms. Like here, this one, I'm going to still work on the interior, but this one's going to be focused around netherwart. So we have a lot of like a nether theme kind of going around here. So that one, I'm not sure yet what it's going to turn into, but once I come up with the idea, I'll update that as well. But that was what I was working on there. So just kind of a nice little structure to fill in this main street here, leaving it ready for lighting and texturing and all kinds of stuff to put stuff on the sidewalks like I kind of have done over here. So that's kind of coming up with this space over here, is doing these buildings, their interiors, and then doing the outside work here. But that's what I was going, was trying to get some different height elements going on, which I think is one of the things I need to work better on, is kind of incorporating different height elements, different things that make them stand out. As I've been looking at different buildings, like this one here had the fire escape, so having more stuff like that where it adds elements of visual interest will benefit it. I'm going to keep going on this way, down one of the main streets, and of course it rains as always. Get rid of that. We're going to go down to the left here towards Shelmet HQ. So I haven't decided what this building is going to be here. Again, trying to give a different vibe, so I have it left open for whatever I might end up making that building to be. But I have updated Shelmet HQ because I've moved the turtles over to this building here. So figured they needed a proper building, and you can see they got some signage representation of the different turtles that are here. And inside, I left the original stuff so that way that was not touched, so that's still a part of this world, as well as the little sculpture here that Art made. And so I put in the area for the turtles to hang out before they're rehabilitated and sent off into the world. But there is an issue behind here where the sludge from either the sewers or Port Corp is spewing out, which has resulted in these giant turtles growing. So that's where I kind of like saw them coming from. Think of TMNT and the ooze. So that's where I was going with that. You can see I need to change that one up, maybe flip it around or change its bandana. That's part of what I need to still go through, but you can see now that they have their own little headquarters in the city. And then the other big thing I've been working on besides those structure there is I was trying to fill in the docks. So I was working on a bunch of different things here. Took Brown's original idea of the shipping containers and made my own versions, just throwing a couple blocks together using the shape and size that they had going here. Added a crane here. I can't remember what this one's called. I think it's a gantry crane. And I was just trying to add something in that would be able to move the shipping containers around. I added some forklifts that I found online and took like a little bit of rendition off of that. Kind of changed up some of the blocks and everything to fit what I needed here. But yeah, I think this makes this space a lot more lived in. There's still a lot more I can do with this. I feel like adding more tractor trailers or cranes, putting a ship out here. I was trying to find some examples of that. That'll be a future work in progress, but I feel like this adds a whole lot more life to what's going on in this space, especially with the vehicles and all that. And then kind of like a little bit of parkour where you can jump around in here. So kind of cool elements, adding just different random blocks and containers. Oop, there's a hole there. Let's fill that in real quick. And then the other element I'm continuing to work on and add to is Central Park here, or off Central Park, I should say. Again, trying to add a bunch of different types of trees, incorporating some of the mangrove stuff in here as I've updated this world to 1.19 just for the block elements. But as you kind of walk around here, you can see I'm trying to do a lot of hidden lightning, do vegetation, fill in where there was statues needed to be filled in, and then I actually added a merry-go-round over here on this side. So this way, when I still need to connect it all the way up to the top. Totally forgot about doing that when I built it. At least I did for most of them. But a merry-go-round, fix that right there. In the off-Central Park. So like really just kind of worked with different elements of the roof, try to just kind of come up with some random different shapes for creatures. I didn't want to put like live horses in here. But yes, we got the classic merry-go-round creatures that you can ride, like the reindeer, and the snake, and the whatchamacallit, and the llama. Yeah, I just try to make unique shapes, so that way it kind of gave it different elements to that. Making a horse out of a limited space and limited amount of blocks is definitely difficult. So llama was much better suited for this. So we have that there. So that's our merry-go-round in off-Central Park. And then I need to continue to add to this space back here. So I've added some trees to it all. I still need to do the hidden lighting with all this. Add some lights to the basketball court to make it a little bit easier to have less torches and those mob spawns here. And so I'm going to continue to work on that space as well. So those are the little elements that I'm continuing to work on and build off of. You can see I'm kind of using some other buildings and bringing them over. So this is that building right here. I'm going to retexture possibly that with some different block palettes and try and fill in the remaining space here. So trying to kind of put in a strip here of buildings. Still need to build like a hospital and police station, stuff like that. And again, once I get the inspiration for each of those builds, I'm going to bring them in and I'll update as things get progressed. So again, working on different signage, add a FedEx sign. You can see a little hidden arrow as best I could in there. So I'm just trying to add like little details in that regard, and then also kind of the big buildings. So continue to work on that stuff, continue to add things to it, and again, I'll bring updates as they come. So thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.